Hey guys, and welcome back to Cornerstone Youth Markham's YouTube channel. My name is Sarah, and I'm so excited to finish off our 4-part series called True Story, all about identity and looking at true stories in the Bible to find out who we are and who God is. Today, I'm gonna do something a little risky. I don't know what's in here. I asked my dad to pick up 4 random brands of baby food, different flavors, different types, and right now I'm wearing these glasses. As you can see, they have like paper on the inside, like it's cardboard, so I can't see a thing. My eyes are also closed, as you can see. So I don't know what these are, but you guys can see the flavors, and I'm just gonna try it and see if I can guess what I'm eating. So here we go. The first one is here. All right, let's see if I can guess what this is. Ooh. Oh gosh. Oh, why do babies eat this? I think this is prune. It tastes pruny, or like pear or something. Second one, that was so gross. Apple. I think this is just a normal applesauce. Still kind of weird. Feels like apple with pear, maybe? Apple pearish kind of thing. Here's a third one. I know this flavor. I know it. I think it's apple mixed with berry. I think this is mixed berry apple. Because I have a secret. I like to eat applesauce. So I think this is apple and berry. I like this one. The last one. Oh, this is banana. I think this is banana strawberry. Oh, I hate banana. Oh, gross, gross. Okay, let's see. Yes, I got it right. This is prunes. So gross. This is pear. Oh, okay. So I think I got this right? Apple and pear. This one. Oh, it's just normal apple. Okay. There's no berries at all. Oh, okay, no berries. I was wrong. And this one is bananas, strawberries, and peaches. Boo, so gross. Okay, so this was the worst. I hated this. Please do not feed your babies this. They will hate you. Your baby will hate you. Okay, so that was kind of gross. This was okay, but this was pretty gross. But we're gonna hear from Trinity, a cool youth who's gonna share about a time she did something even more risky in her life.
So one time that I did something risky was actually doing this Instagram thing for Cornerstone Youth Markham. So it started about 3 months ago when I would scroll on TikTok and scroll on Instagram and see these young creators talking about God and spreading the gospel. And I just thought, I can do that. I can use my creative talents and do that for God. But I was really scared. I didn't think I was qualified. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think anyone would listen to me or anyone would care, and I just had all these negative thoughts flowing in my mind, and it really stopped me from pursuing it. And so over the next 3 months, I kept on thinking this and this thought that I have this calling that I need to start a social media account and do something on social media to talk about God and lead others to Christ. It just kept on coming up in my head. So finally I got to the point where I was like, okay, God, give me a sign. And that night, when I was on my bed hanging out with my friends Karis and Jess, my other friend posted this on Instagram, and I'll read part of the caption for you. All my life, I've sporadically had moments where I'd have sudden bursts of determination and longing to be a better person, a better Christian, but not simply just that. I'd suddenly really want to do what Jesus says, to care for the destitute, love the way he loves, and spread his gospel among the nations. That really stood out to me because I could really relate to that. And that was my sign. And I was like, okay, God, you really want me to do this, so I'm gonna do it. So I prayed over it some more, and a few days later, I ended up telling my mom about it, and she was super supportive. And then I had the okay from my parents. So I was like, okay, this is for real, for real. And then the next day, Sarah, the lovely person editing and running this video, she reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to contribute once a week to the Cornerstone Youth Markham account. So it ended up working out perfectly. God opened the doors right at the perfect time. He gave me the right opportunity, and he waited till I was ready to take that risky step of faith. And that was my story of when I did something risky. And for the past 3 weeks, I have been contributing to the page, and it's been really fun. So thank you for listening.
Thanks, Trinity. Sometimes riskiness is selfish and could actually get you into trouble, but there are certain risks that actually have the potential to benefit you and other people. So let's look at a special teenager in the Bible who took some dangerous risks to save herself and also God's people. So we're going to look at an Old Testament book of the Bible. It's actually called Esther. It's one of my favorite books ever. So Esther was a young Jewish girl who lived in the city of Susa, which was a Persian city, and she lived with her uncle Mordecai. Now, this city wasn't really known for following God, so Jewish people were a minority. And as the book begins, the king of Persia was looking for a new queen. And he had a huge liking to Esther. So he chose Esther to be the next queen. And Esther didn't really have a choice in the matter. It was really the king dictating what he wanted. So Esther was queen, but not by choice. However, as we talked about, Jewish people were a minority. So Esther and her uncle Mordecai kept their identities a secret to protect themselves. But then, one of the king's officials named Haman convinced the king that the Jews were a danger to his kingdom. Why? Well, because Jews refused to worship anyone but God, which meant that the Jews would not worship Haman nor the king. So Haman said the best solution would be simply to murder every single Jew in the Persian kingdom. Haman was not a good guy. The king agreed, not knowing that his beloved Queen Esther was actually Jewish herself. So time was ticking for all the Jewish people in the Persian Empire. Without God's help, they would all die. We're going to take a little intermission because things are becoming quite tense, so enjoy this, some of this, some of that. Okay, we're back in the drama. So Mordecai realized that Esther was actually in the best position to do something risky to save her and her people. So Esther had a choice. A, would she hide her identity and not share anything and stay safe herself? Or B, would she share her Jewish identity with the king and try to turn around this murderous plot against her and her people? Long story short, you can read the book of Esther yourself. It's a good read. Or you can actually watch the VeggieTales movie called Esther. Basically, Esther strategically had meals with the king and Haman. She won their favor, so she got on their good side. And then one night, she bravely spoke out against the evil and murderous plot to kill all Jewish people, including herself and her family. So the king was enraged, and Haman, the main man behind all this cruelty and wickedness, was punished and killed for his wrongdoing. The Jews were given rights to protect themselves, and Esther and her people were saved. Fun fact, if you read through the whole book of Esther, you'll notice that God's name is never directly mentioned in the story. But although he is not mentioned, you can see God's presence in every situation. So this story of Esther shows us that God never gives up on God's people, that God is always working, that God always has perfect timing, and that God uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things. To summarize all these traits, we can confidently say that God is good. And Esther also shows us who we are as God's people. We can trust that God won't leave us without help. We can trust God is working even when our situation feels scary or out of control. We are often called by God to do something risky, and we can be used by God to rescue others. I'm going to read from Esther 4 verse 14, something that Mordecai said to Esther when she was debating whether or not to tell the truth to the king. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? Esther didn't choose to become queen, as we talked about, but she made the risky decision to let God use her to save and protect his people. Who are the people in your life that God is calling you to serve and protect? Is it someone who really needs a friend right now? Is it maybe making meals for people who are living on the streets? Or is it sharing the gospel, the good news of Jesus, with someone who needs that hope? Just like Esther, God is either going to work with you or without you. You should choose to get involved. Maybe you were created and equipped for such a time as this, just like Esther. But no matter what the risk is, we know that you are not alone and you are not without help. Because of who God is, we can take risks for others. Okay, time for a sermon series roundup. What have we learned over these past 4 weeks? We've learned that because of who God is, we can trust how God has made us. We can do difficult things. We can embrace the unknown. And we can take risks for others. Take some time to reflect on this and also journal about what you've learned through this series. What has God been saying to you? And what risks can you take for others this week?
Hi to the youth at Cornerstone. My name is Trinity Chan. I'm 17 years old and I'll be taking over the Cornerstone Youth Markham Instagram account every Wednesday. Some of the content that I'll be posting on there is anything between short videos, painting, analyzing Christian songs, my freedom of expression, just expressing whatever God puts on my mind every Wednesday. My goal is not to preach to you guys because I don't feel qualified or called to do that, but I just kind of want to share my experiences with you guys and for all of us to learn something from it. So some ways that you can engage on my posts is there'll be a little prompt in the description, a little question that you can answer. It doesn't have to be super deep, just like 1 or 2 sentences maybe. And it's a way for you to read and encourage your peers along the way, and so that we can all take something away every Wednesday. And something special that I'm doing is after every series, which is about every month or so, I'll be having select youth, and that's you guys, to make your own post or contribute to one of my posts about the topic that I'm doing at that time. I'm really open to it, and we would just have to talk about it together and figure it out together.
Okay friends, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much, Trinity, for appearing and sharing your story with us. And thank you guys for watching and following along. We are still doing our art challenge, so please show us through art, maybe painting, dancing, singing, whatever it is, whatever art you love to do. We would love to see who you are and who God is. Just tag us at Cornerstone Youth Markham, and I look so forward to seeing what you guys do. And also, like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you never miss an upload. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!